thought this would be a great day to give you guys just a little taste of what a kind of day in the life looks like these days, and in particular with a focus on personal ministry. It's one of the line items in our VOCA strat plan, and it's a day when I get to do a lot of face-to-face work, hands-on work with business professionals in New York City. So I'm going to get my coffee and we'll continue. I begin each day here, my daily reflection. 5:30 and I'm on my way down to the gym, get a little Peloton in before I head into Manhattan. Well, I survived. I've actually been finding that working out every day, even if I have to shorten it a little bit, is better than not. And it just helps me be focused and energized. So I'm in a car, I'm headed into Manhattan to go to the New Canaan Society, which is a Christian men's fellowship. I found it when I first moved to New York 14 years ago, and have been involved, and now I'm the host. And so the purpose of New Canaan is to get guys together, and we have a speaker that tells their story, and then we interact and get to know each other and build friendship. So it's about transformation, friendship with each other, and friendship with Jesus. And I'm there almost every Thursday, hosting, moderating, and it's kind of centerpiece of the personal ministry side of what I do here in New York, and part of our program menu for VOCA. And it gives me a chance to connect with professional guys in the city. It gives me a chance. I'm almost always having a coffee with somebody afterwards, just to provide guidance and encouragement as needed. And some of those guys have transitioned into coaching clients. Some have become donors to VOCA, and some have become really, really, really close friends. So it's been really, really great. The Manhattan chapter is one of 55 chapters across the country, and I'm also on the national board, chairman of the national board. So it's connected me to a whole network of really, really great and interesting people across the city. So I take a car on Thursdays because I need to get there quickly. It's about half the trip. Half the trip time is taking the subway, and I need some space, some time just to prepare for what we're gonna do. So I prepare in the car on the way. That's the way it works every Thursday.
Great to be here, great to be together. I'm Chip Roper, one of the leaders here at this chapter of the New Canaan Society, the Manhattan chapter, which we call NCS. It's great to see you guys this morning.
Just finished our meeting, and all the guys are still talking, and you can see kind of where we meet. We're right in Midtown. We had 60 or so guys this morning, and it's a fascinating conversation with Krishan, senior pastor at Hillsong. He kind of relates well to this business community because he's new. He's been in New York only 4 or 5 years and has some really interesting insights on the culture here and kind of how it shapes us. All right, so I just got done having coffee with a young guy that's struggling with his vocational calling, and I've made my way from Rock Center up to 57th Street, 7th Avenue, right across the street from Carnegie Hall. And one of our board members, our VOCA board members, just had a book come out, and he's doing a reveal. And so I'm here to see him and support him and connect with others who know him and are part of that community. Hey, so I'm on the subway home. So I just got done going to this book preview kind of event. There's tons of people there. It's really great to be there with Ed Morgan, one of our board members, in this book he wrote about turning around the Bowery Mission in New York City, one of the greatest accomplishments of his career. And while I was there, I just connected with a whole bunch of people. So I'd already had coffee with one of the guys from the New Canaan Society who's struggling with career direction. Then while I was at this event and the lunch that followed, there's like 60 people there. I was able to connect with 2 or 3 other people that might actually be in need of coaching or advising. A mentee was there of mine. I was able to just get a quick update from him and speak into some things that are going on in his life. And then there's some new and old potential partners where we can do some work together with Voca and what they're doing. So it's just amazing what happens when you show up in person. Sometimes it seems like it's especially true here in New York that there's some really vital gatherings, and this gathering is sponsored by the Grace and Mercy Foundation. There's some really vital gatherings where a lot can happen in a short amount of time. Hey, so I'm walking home from the subway. I do a lot of walking in New York City. But I wanted to speak a little bit about the personal ministry dynamic of what we do at Voca. It's a portion of our budget that our generous donors fund that allows me to be really accessible to folks in the city who need counsel, need some direction. They're not in a position in many cases to invest in one of our paid programs, but they still need help. And you know, like I guess a lot of places, people come to New York to kind of remake their lives, for a career dream, a life dream. Some of them are running from things. So it's a very opportune moment when they run into some walls and things don't work out. And I was talking to a guy this morning who came here for a job and it didn't work out. And so now what's he do? And the meter's running, everything's expensive, and he's a little lost. So that line item in our budget, personal ministry, makes it easy for me to just say, yes, sure, I'll talk to you. And there's no cost or anything. And we know enough, and we know enough people that we can. Some people, that's all they need. They just need one or two conversations, and we can point them in the right direction. And we estimate that, there's at least 100 of those kind of conversations a year. We kind of keep track of that. And then there's another side of personal ministry, which is participating in the leadership of the New Canaan Society here in Manhattan. We've got 50 to 80 guys every week. All of them work here in New York, and most of them work in business or other kinds of vocations out in the world. And by hosting that and organizing that, we're really creating space for their lives to be anchored and changed spiritually. And so part of the New Canaan Society ethos is that none of the chapter leaders are paid. And I spend quite a bit of time on that. And I feel the freedom to do it because of this personal ministry segment of our budget that I can. It's a worthy investment of my time, and I'm provided for through Voca, so I can make that investment in creating that space and hosting that experience for all these men in New York. And so it's been really, really good, and a way to serve and have an impact. It's not directly connected to a fee. We have that side of what we do, but this is kind of giving away generosity and grace because of your generosity and grace. So I want to thank you for that, supporting us and the way that this work continues in a kind of serendipitous. Part of it is just this sort of serendipitous, very one-on-one personal way because of your generosity. Thanks. I'm back at my desk and have been for a while. Did some training and a leadership assessment we use. Did an interview for Outwork on Purpose, which will be promoting our AI-powered spiritual coach to their network of thousands of people. And now I'll be cleaning up email and correspondence and setting up other meetings for the rest of the afternoon. Before COVID, I had a little office in the city right in the middle of Manhattan, and found that after the pandemic, or during the middle of the pandemic, it wasn't worth keeping. And I've also found that it's so easy to get to most of Manhattan from where we live that it's actually just more efficient to work at home most days, or start here, or go back and forth as needed. So that's what I do a lot, and so I'm here kind of wrapping up the day, and will be for the next hour or so before Audrey gets home. And I think /hope it's pizza night. I think that's what we're gonna do. But
stay tuned for that.
Okay, headed to dinner. We're going to do a quick dinner because both Audrey and I have work to do tonight. And so we just go to this Italian place that's just a block away, and back to the office in a little bit to do a little more work.
Hi.
So I'm back. We had a great dinner, and we'll work for maybe just like another hour to clean up my inbox. I'm kind of an inbox zero guy. I like to process all my email. And so I got a couple people to follow up with from today. I had a couple people I'm advising or coaching that had questions. I've got a couple of leads to follow up with, and just some other things to keep out there, stay ahead of. And I'll actually sleep better when I get that done. So that's the plan. So walking the dogs last time we go outside for the day. It's a nice way to kind of stretch the legs before winding down. So Thursdays are typically a really long day. They're a great day. Lots of variety and lots of that personal ministry. And still plenty to do and plenty of opportunity here in New York and all around the world, really, from our base here. So thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. And we'll look forward to seeing each of you soon. Take care.